All right, joining me now, Miranda, Devine, Ace New York Post columnist, Fox News contributor, and host of Pod Force One, and Caroline Downey, the National Review columnist and reporter. Aren't you still reporting?
That as well.
All right, she's columnizing and she's reporting. Chicago is the murder capital of the world, Miranda Devine. Trump has said that. Chicago's next on his list. What you make of it?
Well, I just can't understand why these Democrat leaders are choosing to be on the wrong side of, an 80-20, 90-10 issue. Donald Trump's quite right. I mean, it's a winner for him. It's a trap for them. And as he says, it would be just much better if J.B. Pritzker, the governor of Illinois, would just pick up the phone or clean up his own cities. Gavin Newsom's seen the writing on the wall. He's decided, he says it has nothing to do with Trump, it's all his own initiative, but he's going out to San Francisco and San Diego and LA and doing a crime crackdown. They all should do that, but the problem for Democrats is they have this suite of policies that they have been embracing since even before the George Floyd riots, but it was turbocharged then, and that's cash bail and defunding the police and emptying the prisons. All of that's a recipe for crime on the streets.
So, Caroline, it worked in Washington, so that's the laboratory test case. The mayor of Washington, most of her statements finally acknowledged that it worked. But then you have the Blue City murder problem, as Miranda writes. But you have this other stuff, too. I'm going to call it little stuff, but it's not little. It's major stuff. But defunding the police, ending cash bail, refusing to prosecute misdemeanors, as New York's far-left mayor says early. That's what, years ago, James Q. Wilson wrote in his brilliant book and analysis called Broken Windows, Fixing Broken Windows. And Rudy Giuliani used that as mayor of New York. It just means if you go after the little stuff, you're gaining on the big stuff, the murders and the, horrible thing. And they won't do the little stuff. The Democrats they won't even allow misdemeanors now. That just tells me they're not serious.
Right, and these aren't minor things, to your point, Larry, because they tend to snowball. And this is about, not just the quality of life for D.C. residents, but all of those who visit D.C., the tourists. It's unbelievable that Democrats would be tone deaf to minor crimes, because I don't think they would tolerate that. Chuck Schumer has a security detail of at least 20 people. I don't think he would like it if misdemeanors were committed against him. So it's not small potatoes, but I really do think that Democrats, once again, have been cornered by President Trump, and it shows that their political instincts are absolutely zero. Crime in D.C. was rampant. Coming down, yes, but still very much ubiquitous and a sad default state of life for people there. And so Trump responds by deploying the National Guard because law enforcement there, because of the local government had no interest in taking the problem seriously. And what do Democrats do? They respond by calling it a dictatorship and fascism. And they did the exact same thing with illegal immigration. The border crisis was a serious problem created by Biden. So Trump responded by following through on his deportation promises. And what did Democrats do? They make it about due process. So they're always trying to change the subject rather than give Trump an ounce of credit.
Or racism.
Or just admit that safe streets are good for the economy and good for the American people.
Miranda, I don't have enough time today, but I can't help myself, okay? Delta Sigma Theta is the historically black sorority to which both Lisa Cook, the Federal Reserve lady, and D.C. District Judge Gia Cobb, she's the presiding judge in the Lisa Cook case for the Fed, fostering lifelong sisterhood and support. And then the president of the sorority, Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, stands with Dr. Lisa D. Cook. Is this going to prejudice that case? This is a big issue.
I think it's a huge conflict of interest for Judge Cobb, and she should have recused herself. And I think this statement from the president of that sorority was really problematic. It went on to talk about how any attack on Lisa Cook was sort of racist and anti-feminist, and that all of the sorority has her back. And they have a lifelong pledge to each other that they'll have their back. And so, I don't think it's even good enough for Judge Cobb to say, I wouldn't be influenced by that. I think she needs to recuse herself. And unfortunately, the chief judge her boss is none other than Judge Boasberg,
Right.
who's the anti-Trump nutter. So
But you see the race card again. The race card. Lisa Cook has nothing. She has 3 primary residences. Those are the allegations. We have proof now, not only of 3, but we have proof that she's renting one of the primary residences. If it's your primary residence, Caroline, you can't rent it. You have to live there.
Right.
That's the whole point of a primary residence. She has 3 and she's renting one of them. That's it. Game, set, and match. Just resign. Be gone with yourself.
Yeah, I think just come clean and just say, look, this was not kosher, what I did. And ordinary people couldn't get away with
That's
that.
it.
And I
That's
think
it.
that is the sticking
Ordinary
point.
people couldn't get. That's the Federal Reserve's whole problem. Ordinary people don't respect the Fed anymore.
and she's damaging the reputation of the Fed
Heck
by
yeah.
hanging on.
And Jay Powell doesn't have the backbone, I will call it, to put her on leave or suspend her, as he's done in the past. We talked about that earlier in the show. He's wrecked the Fed, too. The whole lot of them should just go down anyway. Miranda, Devine, and Caroline Downey. We appreciate it very, very